Hi guys, COOLtureZ here. In today's video I'm going to tell you how did it happen that I end up in Ireland, as I never planned to move to another country. So it's very spontaneous, so it might be a bit chaotic, but we'll see how it goes. So let's begin. So I never planned to move to another country. I always planned to stay in Poland. I was planning to work there, live there and have a family and be around my family. But my journey started, when I think about it, that I was listening to some folk music and I was listening to Celtic Woman, and then on YouTube there just suggested videos showed me the High Kinks. So one of the guys on the video, he was stepping and I really loved it. So I found Irish dance in my city, in Poznań, in Poland. So I've been dancing in there for around 2 years. I never was a super dancer. I was just doing that for fun. I really liked it. I did a soft Irish dance. I never went to stepping, but it was super fun. And that way I started to going to Irish parties, to Irish pubs, and I get to know some Irish culture. And that way I fell in love in Ireland, Irish culture, Irish people, but I still didn't think about moving there. I was more probably thinking about traveling here, have a trip, learn Irish. I was thinking about it, but I never thought I will end up here where I am. So then we started a business. When I was in college, I started a business with my husband. He was then my boyfriend. And at first it was great. It was working perfectly. It was fine. But then around 2 or 2.5 years later, things started to not being so good. And the business wasn't going so well and we were in debts. And I was doing some school, some evening school for adults, and going there I always took a book with me. So usually I didn't buy books. I still don't. I'm more into ebooks or into library. So back then I just went to the library and took a book. Honestly, I didn't even think about it. I just took a book from the shelf that had a nice cover. It looked fine. The title was The Irish Sweater. It was fine. It was just like normal book. It wasn't very high literature. Ugh. It wasn't very high literature. Oh my god! It wasn't very fancy book. Okay, so and then I went to the class, and I remember it was November, and November in the city usually looks like that there is a lot of snow, but the snow melts into a mud and it's gray, it's windy, it's raining, it's cold, it's really depressing. I was a bit down at the moment back then because of all what was happening with the business, with me doesn't have any plans for the future. And we were going to get married with my husband, but then I knew it would be super hard for us to live in Poland, as we didn't have a place to stay. We didn't have a house or apartment for as an owners, and renting in Poland is super expensive. So I knew that having debts and then have to pay for normal living and for renting and for everything, it would be super expensive and we probably couldn't afford it. So and then I was reading the book, and the book is about it's really normal book, a bit romance but with a history about Ireland. So basically the girl, the journalist, she's going to a small island near Ireland coast, and she's writing a book about Irish sweaters, because all the sweaters in Ireland back then, back like ages ago, had their own patterns. So each housewife had her own pattern, and that was like the family pattern. So all the men in the family, when they're going for fish or to the field, they were wearing those sweaters with those patterns. So she was writing a book about it. And on this island she met a man and she fell in love, and of course it had happily ever after. So, and this particular book, it gave me so much hope, and I was, oh, it's getting emotional, sorry, but it gave me a lot of hope. For me it was like, oh my god, maybe that's my road, maybe I should go to Ireland. So I googled it a bit, how does it work in here, and I called my husband and I said to him, look, maybe we move to Ireland after we get married. And he said yes. And then I told my friend that we're moving, and she said, oh, I'm the third baggage. So 3 of us moved in here, and we were freshly married. We were here a month after we got married. We had only money from the wedding, a big debts in Poland, and nothing here. We just get into the plane, to the bus, and we end up here. So that's basically my story. If you want to know more, if you want to know how the rest of the story goes, because this is not the end of the story, it's just the beginning. This is how I end up being in Ireland. But then first months in Ireland was super tough, but super fun. I learned a lot. So if you want to know how the story ends, you can write in comments. And thanks so much for watching, thanks for listening to me, and be cool and stay cool, and see you the next time. Bye!